Sp4zie, commentary, and plenty.
Hello YouTube, Sp4zie coming right at you with another commentary. Today we're playing Rammus in the jungle. It's a chilled Sunday. I want you to grab a drink. I've got a glass of water here, fresh off the tap. Ah, delicious. We're playing Rammus in the jungle. I have been enjoying him lately. He is a scarab with this skin, which is obviously a nice thing to slap onto the fact that you can roll around like a power ball. I've got the attack speed marks. I got armor seals and quints. I got mixed scaling and flat magic resist glyphs. You could go movement speed quints if you want. I like armor because it gives you that nice defensive stat in the jungle, and it also gives you some damage on Rammus with his passive. 6-21-3 for the movement speed and utility, a bit of attack speed for extra clear time, and then all defensive, baby. Now, as you can see, I've started off the golems, as I will still remain to this day calling them. What are they called? Krogs, something like that. But I do go ahead and smite these raptors because I see that Orianna is positioned pretty nicely for an early gank. So I want to get there in time and healthy enough to actually commit to it. So I line up here. I am just assuming she hasn't warded yet. I'm waiting for a bit of speed to go to my power ball, and then I go right in. Now she does a mistake here. She should have flashed early because right now I can trade a flash for a kill. I actually probably didn't have to flash there, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And especially on a low utility mid like Orianna, it is definitely worth trading a flash for, you know, flash and then a kill, especially. Like, I can just go back in there and grab easy ganks now if she push up the lane. So I'm just gonna do these wolves, and then I'm gonna go back and get boots and the upgraded Smitey-roo. Now on Rammus, I go Trailblazer and I go Cinderhulk, pretty standard. Merc Treads usually, Ninja Tabi if they're all AD. And then if I get going and want to keep snowballing, I go for the Righteous Glory to get them engages just the way I like them. Then you can just sort of decide if you want to go Randers or Frozen Heart, depending on what the setup suggests and what you prefer. I used to, you know, it's pretty... I don't have a go-to pick there. I tend to mix it up because I feel like it's fun to do that. There might be a best choice for you. But yeah, that's what I usually do. And then you could look to get some magic resist items. You know, the Banshees obviously is a good pick on any tank. You could get Locket if there's a lot of AP on the team. Here I go in at the Ori, who doesn't have a flash, so I can just easily pick up that kill. I also blew both Summoners bottom earlier, which is pretty nice. And then you can, you know, get the Thornmails to top it all off, and then you'll be a very tanky and damaging dealing Rammus. So here I smite the raptors, I get the buff, and I notice that I don't have any wards here. So I kind of want to tank it because I saw Shaco on the bottom side. If I were Shaco, I would have ganked this mid. So I tried to stay here for the counter gank, and it appears that Shaco has decided to go around. So here I do a little bit of a misplay. I taunt him, and then I should have powerballed immediately after. I underestimate how short my taunt is on early levels. So he actually gets away on very low HP. And speaking of the levels and speaking of what I max, I go for the max W first because that gives you the nicest amount of clear time and damage, and then I obviously max the taunt because you want to get that CC going. Now here, it is a very risky dragon. Shaco's low and went back, but they know and we don't have pinks, so it's very risky. Ezreal turns to start damaging Janna, which I think is a bit of a mistake. We should have probably rushed it down so I could have smited it. We end up getting it though, and we trade dragon for 3 deaths, I think, and then it turns out that top grabs a solo kill, so it's actually like 3 for 2, because Katarina grabbed the kill as well, I think, and dragon, so that's kind of worth, but it was a very risky call, and yeah, a little bit of a sloppy thing, I guess. So Rammus in general is, God, I need a sip of that water. Rammus is a very fun jungler, but what you need to know before you pick Rammus in a ranked game is the setup suitable for it. It's not like Vi, where it's like, okay, Vi is a carry jungler, you can just get snowball in, and then even if your lanes are losing, you can go and pick off targets and the AD carry and sort of like, you know, pick the fights you would like on a personal level and then just go from there. Rammus is not like that. You can definitely decide the games with your engages, but you cannot really that easily come back from a game where every lane is losing. Because Rammus is sets up the engage, but he doesn't finish the engage. He needs other people there. And that's sort of what you want to look at when you decide if you're going to pick Rammus or not. One thing, if they're all AD, Rammus is a nice pick. If you can build all armor on Rammus, then Rammus is going to be very happy because you're going to be dealing a lot of damage. But that aside, the most important part you need to look at is what abilities are we facing and what abilities do we have on our side. Do we have like a Morgana who can spell shield you when you go in so you get that free engage? Well, that's going to be very nice. Do we have an Orianna that can speed you up? And then look at the enemy team. Do they have a Thresh? Thresh is a nightmare for Rammus because Thresh can like interrupt every single engage that he does with just a flay and then a stupid box, and then you're doomed, right? So here we do a very risky little engage here in mid. Orianna flashes very late, so that's good. But if she would have played that accordingly, Udyr could have potentially counter-ganked it very efficiently. But as it turns out, we get out pretty nicely, and we even get a kill on Udyr there. Katarina was playing really well. So that's what you want to look at. You want to look at the setup, and you want to decide, can I play Rammus here? And if you can, and if you feel like it's a good pick, then Rammus can definitely do the work for you. Because, you know, the way Rammus picks engages late game is just, in solo queue especially, a very fail-safe way. Because you can just go through the lane, or, you know, if you know that stale moment that usually appears in solo queue when you're like, okay, bottom tier 1 turrets are gone, someone might be pushing a tier 2 turret somewhere, you just don't often think that you're unsafe farming minions in the lane, and with Rammus, you actually are. Like, you can just engage with your Righteous Glory and pick the fights you want, and on the ADC with a max W and even the Thornmail on there, you're gonna do a lot of damage. Usually you can also solo the ADC on the enemy team late game, which is very nice. I'm so sad that Lucian got away there. I wanted that double kill so badly, but hey, can't get everything in life. So that's sort of Rammus for you. This game has been a semi-flawless game. It's been very snowbally. We won all the lanes, but it's a chilled Sunday after all, and you know, MSI final starting in a couple of hours, so we want to be watching that too. We want to just keep it chilled and then, you know, keep our nerves steady. I'm really happy with the way Fnatic turned up to this couple of games. I've been very excited following them on Twitter, and as you guys know, I've been gifting my way through the broadcasts. It's been a blast. I enjoy it. I think you guys do as well. I guess it's gonna get pretty old soon, but I still enjoy it. If you don't follow me on Twitter, do it and you'll know what I'm talking about. So another thing that I would like to bring up before this commentary is over is sort of what's been going on lately in League for me on a personal level. I feel like I've been losing a lot. If you guys remember last stream, if you were tuning in, we had like, I think we played a lot of games during that stream and we lost almost all of them. We won the last one. We wanted to play until we won one, and then we won it because, like, you know, they DC'd. It was so annoying. We didn't want to win off a DC. We wanted to win fair and square, right? But the interesting part about that stream session was that it taught me some really cool things that I sort of tend to forget every now and again when I'm playing League. Because as you guys know, I play either solo queue or team builder alone, or I play with the CG farts. And when we play with the CG farts, we usually just have as much fun as we can, and we don't really care. We like to win, of course, but we don't really care that much, right? But when we started to care during the stream, I found that I really enjoyed the fact that, because the two latest games of the stream was really even, and it could go either way, and it was really close, and it was so much fun trying very hard to win as a team, because you realize that, okay, you might have a champion down on a mechanical level, or at least semi-down, but when it comes to the decision-making late game as a team, I find, like, at least for us, even though we played this game for so long, we're still very noob at that. Like, you know, when you kill someone, or you pick off two of the people on the enemy team, your ADC is very low, but the rest of you are healthy. Do you do Baron? Because you can't really spend more than 5 seconds making that decision. You have to do the decision, like, right now, or it's gonna be gone. And those type of scenarios are really fun. Like, okay, 2 people are down. Oh, do we push for inhib here, or do we get that fourth Drake so we can set up for 5 later on? And it was actually really enjoyable. I was very focused. It wasn't as much of a derpy stream that it usually turns out to be when we have a lot of fun. It was more a little bit silenced and really focused. And then it was just a lot of fun that it actually ended up us winning with DC to sort of like give us a big slap in the face from the Rito gods. Like, yep, you can win 1 game, I guess, but no, it's not going to be a fair game. It's going to be off of DC, so in your face, you suck. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I actually enjoyed it. And I guess that's how this game is, and it's why you sort of can enjoy this game for such a long time that I've been doing. It's because there are different ways of playing it and different ways of finding the enjoyment that you need, right? This is a very sloppy Drake, but this is actually going to be a surrender vote. It was a little bit of a chilled commentary, but I hope you got the basis of Rammus down, and I hope that you decide to pick him up if you have the team comp for it. And I'll see you on the future streams. Don't forget to like the video if you did enjoy it. Follow me on Twitter for gifts during the broadcasts. And that's gonna be it. This has been Sp4zie and Planty, and we're both out. Dudes!